This is a quick video about how to mix black and neutral gray. First of all, remember that black comes from the presence of all colors. Now it's really a silly waste of time and paint to take all of the colors on the color wheel and make them and then mix them together. Because remember, it's the primary colors, yellow, red, and blue, that come together to make all the other colors on the color wheel. So how should we go about mixing black? Let's get started with trying to figure that out. So if black is the presence of all colors, it makes sense that we're going to need the components that make up all the other colors. So of course we're going to need red, yellow, and blue. Now how should we mix those? Well, it would make sense, if we're going to mix red, yellow, and blue, to mix them in equal amounts. Please take a look down here. Let me enlarge it for you so that you can see it a little bit more clearly. This is the formula, or if you prefer, recipe, for black. You need to take primary blue, primary red, and primary yellow, and mix them together in approximately equal amounts. And when you do, you will get black. Now, it won't be a really, really dark black. It'll be kind of a charcoal black, but it'll be black nonetheless. So what we have is black is the presence of all colors because we've used all of the primary colors that, of course, added together, give you what? Black. Exactly. Now let's think back. How did we say we make neutral gray? Oh yes, by mixing opposites on the color wheel. Opposites being colors that are directly across from each other on the color wheel, as I'm drawing here. Anytime you mix two colors that are located directly opposite, going right through the center, you will have mixed opposites on the color wheel to lower the saturation of the color and move it closer to neutral gray. So if you use approximately equal amounts of any opposite on the color wheel, you'll get neutral gray. So let's take a look at one complementary pair. Let's take a look at violet and yellow. Now how do we make violet? Well, that's easy, by adding red and blue. Okay? So red and blue come together to make violet. Great. And yellow and violet mixed together will give you neutral gray. Okay. So what we're doing is we're mixing yellow, red, and blue together and getting neutral gray. But wait a minute. Didn't we just say that by mixing yellow, red, and blue together, we got the presence of all color? Black? What's going on here? Is this magic? Are we taking yellow, red, and blue and getting black sometimes and getting neutral gray other times? Is there any way to predict what we're going to get? Of course there is. The answer is to be found in the formula or the recipe for neutral gray. So let's take a look at a single pair of colors. Let's look at yellow and violet. Here is the recipe for neutral gray. You'll notice that indeed we see yellow, blue, and red. But the formula is different. Take a look over here. We have 25% blue and 25% red. When we mix those together, we'll get violet. Now that 50%, the blue, 25, and the red, 25, come together and get joined with yellow, which is already 50%. So by taking that violet, 50% of the color, and the yellow, the other 50% of the color, voila, we've got neutral gray. Let's finish up by taking a look at both pie charts side by side so that you can see very clearly how this is done. So here are the two pie charts side by side. Can you pick out which one is neutral gray and which one is black? Pause the video and see if you can figure it out. Remember that up in this area, we have 33, 33, and 33% of the primaries. Down here, we have 25, 25 coming together to make 50%, and the yellow making up the other 50%. And there you have it. The top pie chart is black, because in order to make black, you need approximately the same amount of red, yellow, and blue. In order to make neutral gray, you need one of the colors to be much more abundant, in this case, yellow, and then the other two colors, the other two primary colors, to be in lesser amounts. So what is plain old gray? Well, to get plain old gray, we simply mix black, the presence of all color, with white, the absence of all color. By mixing black and white together, we get gray. Remember that black and white gray is not the same as neutral gray. Neutral gray comes from mixing complementary colors. Regular gray just comes from mixing the presence of all colors, black, with the absence of all color, white. Hope this made it easy for you to understand. If not, go ahead and ask a question. Bye.